Jonathan here, we're back at it. We're going to try to get as much of this panel done across the bottoms as we can. I did get the trunk lined up. I wasn't going to right now, but I did anyway. So the height's right. Looks good, so we're going to get on the panels now. So what we've done is I put the bead roll on the bottom and broke it. And now we're trying to get the right shape of the door. Now the door is not flat, so what I'm doing is I'm going up here where the body line's at and laying it in and trying to get shrink it and get the shape right. And it looks like we've got some gap toward the front, so that's the only place that we need to shrink it a little bit more at. And we'll do that now. That's probably enough. And laying on the fork on the forklift, you can see how much bow's in it. It's over a ½ inch up in the center. Okay, folks, we've got this panel made for the door. We've shrunk it to get it rounded, and this way we've got it broke, we've got it ready, except we can't open the door yet. So now we're working on the floor, so we'll be able to open the door and get all these pans in. Now it's getting ready to cut out the two side pieces. Had a friend of ours, Shane, show up with some parts. Got this, which is the stainless strip that goes around, we was missing. I got the bottom piece that goes in here that we was missing, and he brought me a frame for a windshield. Of course, I've already bought one, and I told him that if the one I get is nicer than this one, then I'll give him this one back. But we wouldn't have had to buy one, and I've just got it sitting in there, so it's not in there where it's supposed to be. But anyway. Okay, folks, changing plans. We've got some of the support welded on the sides, inside. I think what we're going to do is go ahead and set the body down on the frame and build the supports off so we can get this thing good and straight. I'm having to pull it here and there, and I don't like that. So, executive decision to change up what we're doing here a little bit. All right. All right, we got her picked up. Holding up just fine. Okay, we got it sitting down on it. It's about 5 inches higher than what it's going to be when it's done, so we got to go down a long ways. But it is sitting on it. We are working all the little issues out on it. And it's starting to rain, or it is raining again, so I'm kind of screwed on that. But anyway, we're going to get it in there. We're going to have to move the gas tank or change the gas tank or something. I had one of my subscribers had sent me a small fuel cell that we may put in there. Take that out. We'll keep at it and figure it out. A lot of aggravating stuff there. But we're not going to let it get to us. Alright. Appreciate it. Bye. Okay, we got the body sitting down on it, and definitely not where it needs to be yet, and not permanent, but we can start tying stuff in. We'll probably make it bolt on, and then we'll pull it back off, swap our transmission because we haven't done it yet, and finish our panels. I decided to do this because I was afraid I was going to get it all together and then we were going to have some alignment issues and stuff. And as you can see what I'm working with here, you know, I don't have any room, and actually we got to take the tank off because this body's got to come down at least another 4 inches, maybe 5 inches, and it's going to hit the tank, so we're going to have to relocate tank. I had a subscriber send me a fuel cell not long ago that may end up working really well in this. We're going to see. We're definitely going to have to do, that's one of the reasons I didn't put the other panel on, and this one's only tacked in is because, and I don't even have it straight, but we've run into suspension issues here that we're going to have to cut out for it, which is not an issue, you know, not a big issue. Suspension issue, that's not an issue. Tires. Okay, let me explain something. You know, hot rods, I guess there's different styles of hot rods. You know, traditional hot rod or a old school hot rod like I'm used to. Traditional hot rod would be, this thing would be on a Model A frame. It'd run a flathead V8 or, you know, an old early Cadillac V8, something like that. That's not what this is. It's not what it's ever going to be, because I don't have, I don't have a model A frame under it. It's got a lot of aftermarket stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm building this as a hot rod when I was a kid. When I went to the Columbus Nationals and looked around and what I seen and what I liked, and I actually rode in one of these, and it was rusty about like this one. A guy had one that was unfinished that he took, and it was a friend of mine's friend, and I rode it a little ways, and I was a kid now. We're talking about I was 13, 14 years old. So anyway, we got to have some fat tires on the back. So I've got some 50s coming to put on the back. We're probably going to go with something a little narrower than what's on here on the front. We might leave these on for now, but okay, the grill's gone. The motorcycle turn signals are gone. The canteen for an overflow's gone. The guns are gone. We're going to make a different style air cleaner of some sort. Something that I don't have to worry about if it started raining while I was driving about getting a bunch of water in it. Radiator for now is going to stay. We're going to take the skeletons and stuff off. We'll put the grill shell on. We may change it out later. I'm sure I will change it out later. I'd love to do that Y block later on, but for now this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. And I may have to do some adjusting on the exhaust. I'm not tickled about the exhaust on it, but we'll change that when we change the engine. But we may have to cut this lower pipe off and shorten, bring it back, because I don't want it to interfere with the hinges on the door. Let me see. Look in the inside here. Right now I've got it blocked up 6 inches off the frame, and we're probably going to go about 4 or 5 inches down, and it's probably a little more than 6 inches in a couple spots there. But them blocks are not true 6 inches. I think this one here looks like it's probably 7 inches. Anyway, the things that we've got to do, like I said, we're probably going to move the pedals forward. We're going to have plenty of room to do that in this car. We've got to cut out some of the lower section of the firewall. I think everything else is pretty good besides the gas tank. We're moving right along on it. I've got just about all the body panels done and just about ready. I've got a little more hammering to do, but most of these are done and ready to go on. I just haven't put them on yet. I did get the corners in for the rear, and so we'll start getting them on. The way that it ended up being, and I think it's a lot of it's just from luck. There's supposed to actually be a bead in this, I believe, but I'm not going to worry about it. But there's actually on the originals, I think about a 2-inch piece below this, and it looks like with our corners coming down, that's what it's going to be, about 2 inches. So we'll add a piece in 2 inches, and maybe bubble it out a little bit or something to make it look decent, and that'll strengthen it up even more. Plus it'll bring us down to our corners. The back will look pretty good. I'm going to pull the taillights out of that panel. Pull these teardrop taillights out of this panel. These are glass lenses. I don't know what they are. I think they're original old lights. They're not at aftermarket. Maybe 40 Ford. I don't know. I can't place them offhand, or they could be an aftermarket. I don't know. Yeah, they look awful clean and new, but they still may be old copies of old ones. I remember seeing them. I'm just not sure where, but that is glass. So we'll use these teardrops in it, just because that'll keep us from having to buy any. We'll use the 31 tags, of course. So anyway, she's moving right along. We're going to get at it. I didn't get a video up yesterday. It started raining again. Of course, it rained about all night, and I didn't have this all the way covered up, but I had it part of the way. So Noah should be here shortly, and we're going to get to really rolling on this thing and see if we can get something figured out here. I don't think, mountain-wise, I don't think it's going to be any problem whatsoever to get this mounted pretty quick and easy and decent. And the main thing is just getting some stuff cut out, getting this thing lowered down where we want it, and getting the alignment right, building our brackets to mount it. Once we get it mounted, bolt mounted, then we can pull it back off, finish some stuff up, get the transmission right. I'm not seeing any issues about not, having it ready. I can do some quick wiring on it. We left most of the wiring, but some of it I'm going to redo. But I think we can get it. Okay, folks, we've got the body down as far as it's going to go. We got it slid up as far as we're going to get it, and it puts our wheelbase about where we want it. So you can see better on this side. Puts us right where we need to be. And we had to do a little trimming and stuff, get everything in. And we're going to have to move the gas tank. We've just got it sitting on it for now, but it's not going to close because of the lid. So we're going to move it back and down. And as you can see, everything's going to be full in there, so there's not going to be any room for anything extra. But it's time to make cross members now and get the body mounted, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we're inside. It wasn't easy. Had to come through the windshield. Noah had to laugh at me, and I might fire him. I'm debating on that or not. Anyway, okay, so we got one cross member made. What it is, go ahead and loop the cross member, that way we can still keep our floor flat. So we've got that done. The holes drilled in it where we need them. We're going to actually bolt it to the frame, and then we're notching into our panel that we've started, and we're going to slide it up under on each side, and we'll weld it in good. And then we're going to also add some cross members in going this way, but I'll show you that later. But anyway, we're going to get this in there real quick and see how it works out. Okay, we got it in, we got it welded to it. As you can see, we're looped well above the transmission. I just wanted to make sure we had plenty of clearance. Alright folks, we have got the body mounted down in 4 spots, and we've got the brake pedals moved where we want them. And as you can see, when I'm done, the body will be just below the top of the frame. So sort of a high boy, but I didn't want it real low. You know, the frame and everything's low enough the way it is. I didn't really want the body low, but there is so much more room in there than what there was in that, you know, little rat rod. So we're going to continue to play with it. We've you know, we're on the right track now because we've got most of the stuff figured out, and that's the main thing. Once you get everything figured out, you know, the actual work's not the problem. Let me see, the glass will be here tomorrow. Won't be ready for putting the glass in, but so we're about halfway through. We've got about 10 days left, so I think we're going to make it just fine, you know, to be able to at least drive it to the cruise in. And it was just a personal goal I set for myself. So anyway, she's looking good. She's going to look a lot better when I start getting these panels welded in. I wanted to have already started on that, but you know, sometimes you got to skip doing what you really want to do and do the things that you really need to do. And I'll show you how we've done the back. So you can see I've got a 2x2 piece in all the way across, got it bolted to the frame and welded into my floor panel. Now that is where I'm going to start curving up and cover this whole back. We'll bring it out and tie it into the body and to seal everything up, and of course the front one. And I've done a little work on the pedals, remounting them where I wanted them. They're pushed down, but because I don't have the master cylinder on. We've got some more bracket work to do, but welding all new brackets in on it. They had them lean pretty bad. Actually had them mounted back a little ways here and had them lean this way. We brought them back straight, got clearance, and I've got it where it'll still work a clutch fork just fine. So everything will work out there. So we've got the 2 front mounts to do, and then we've got the 2 rear. So like I said, 8 mount points on it, and it'll all be solid, welded good. No safety issues whatsoever when I'm done with this thing. That 1-inch tube there will come out. It's just tying the body together until I get, you know, quite a bit welded in here. Once we get the doors open, the hinges, you know, finished up and stuff, we can start doing the drop down in the rocker panel and where it's going to be. And the rear cross member for transmission is going to be nice and simple. No issues there. really no issues when it comes to the transmission. We're just waiting on parts for that. But anyway, and you know, like I said, our clearance is good. It's up close like I wanted it. We've got about 3/4 of an inch between it, which is just fine. And coming right along. Like I said, the big difference is going to be when we start welding these panels in, and it'll make it come, you know, look a lot quicker. And then, like I said, I'm going to spend probably one full day welding stuff, and hopefully I can get it all done in a day. If not, you know, that's just the way it is. We're going to bend a panel in here and probably build it into maybe a little tray to be able to lay something down in there. You know, you don't have much cargo room whatsoever, so we're going to do the best we can do with that. And I think that's about it. We're going to probably run our body mounts from here down and mount it in good and solid off of my panels that I built. And then once, you know, them are all welded in and everything, this will be good and strong. There'll be no issues there. So it's coming right along though. I'm liking it. I'm liking the room in it. And you know, I'm going to be able to put a thicker seat, because the way that car was, you were sitting, you know, on a 2-inch padding on the floor. And when you hit a bump, you'd feel it all the way up your back and your guts, and you know, I guess I'm just too old for that. So anyway, I do appreciate everybody watching. Noah just went home, and we didn't get much filming done, really. You know, I'd like to get some time-lapse footage in, some stuff we're working on, and I'll try to do that soon here. Sometimes, you know, when I get really busy, the camera's not even on my mind, unfortunately. And I don't know if you ever worked with a tape measure and you keep losing it. Well, the camera's the same way. I lose it all the time. So anyway, all right, we're gonna I gotta go do a tow, so I'm not gonna get any more done tonight. We'll be back on it in the morning. All right, appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.